First of all, why did you become an actress? What is so fascinating?
I don't know. It was all actually it was thanks to my mom and dad because I was studying architecture and I realized that I wasn't fully committed to architecture and I was a bit lost. Like, what should I do? And my mom and dad actually they were the ones that always thought that I could be an actress. I don't know why. But for me, it has to do with I don't know that feeling when you leave the movie theater and you just saw a film that changed your life, or that you felt connected, or you understood something about yourself because you watched that movie, and it's such a beautiful feeling to have. Like when, even if it's just one person that comes to you and it's like, what you did really helped me and helped me see this or understand that, and it's something really unique that only art can give you, music, literature, painting. So it's, I don't know, I think I wanted to be part of it.
And I don't know if you are a theater actress, at least in Linhas Tortas, because you look from online, you play a theater actress.
Yeah.
What do you prefer, theater or TV movies?
I only did one theater play. I loved it. I loved the experience, and I would love to do more. I think theater is a really important part of being an actor. And I mean, just talking with all these guys, they all do theater and they all studied and they're amazing. And I really want to do theater. I really want to do more theater, but it's not been happening in Portugal. My career's been more focused on TV and movies, but I hope that in the next years that can change a little bit and that I can also do theater, because it would be an amazing experience for me.
American productions dominate the European market. What can we do to support more European productions?
That's the thing. Because I think that European movies are better. And I don't know. I think it has to do with ourselves. Like in Portugal, for example, people don't go to the movies to see Portuguese films. You don't show Portuguese films at schools, and you should, because we don't dub films, so we're not used to listen to Portuguese on movie theaters, and I think that's a big mistake because it's our identity. It's how people see us when they're like, to understand a country, you have to look at their culture, at their way of expressing themselves, and that's in books, in movies, in music. And if you don't have that, then you're nothing. You don't exist. And that, I think that has to do more with ourselves as a country. We have to invest more in our country, in our actors, in our directors, and maybe that can change, because I honestly do think that European movies are the best. I love being European and I love being part of this. So,
what can you tell me about Antoine Fuqua's internet?
Not much.
Why?
Because they told me I couldn't talk about it. I can say that it was a very cool experience for me, because in Portugal, like, we have very low budget movies, and suddenly I was in this really big budget film with like, I had like a hairdresser, a makeup artist, someone to look up for my clothes, someone holding my water, and I come from Portugal, and in Portugal you hold your bottle of water and maybe you can grab a coffee for the other actors, but if you do that in that set, you might like put someone out of their job. So that, for me, that was very like unreal to be there, but at the same time everyone was really nice to me, and I learned a lot because I was working in like green screen rooms, so I had to imagine everything, and as an actor that's the more purest way of being an actor, because you're imagining everything. You're not reacting to the atmosphere, you're not reacting to what surrounds you. You have to imagine everything, and that was a challenge, but it was a really cool experience, and I learned very much from it.
A lot of fans waited for the series of Black Power. Can you tell me what you saw when you heard it was cancelled after the pilot?
I was really sad. Because I really wanted to be part of it. I loved filming the pilot. The actors were amazing. Glenn Mazzara, the showrunner, he's great, and he's so good to talk to. Like he really wanted to know each one of us, and he gave something of us to our characters. And he was like, when we were like having dinner or having breaks, he was asking us, so what do you want to do in the next scenes? Like, is there something that you want to do with your character? And that feels so, I don't know, you really feel that you're part of something. And I don't know, when I heard it was cancelled, I was really sad, of course, but I mean, I already had the experience of being in that pilot. So I think it's a good thing to be sad about it, because at least I have that to be sad about. I could have not have that, and that would be worse, I guess.
Sometimes they change the pilot and pick up the series again.
Yeah.
If they talk about you, maybe there will be a series.
I have no idea. I only know that Amazon canceled it. So I know that they were trying to sell to other platforms. I don't know. I mean, I really don't. There are so many things being made now, like the Lord of the Rings thing. I read that only for the rights it was like $250 million. For me, for Portugal, that's crazy. Like we barely have 10 millions to work with for a year, so only for the rights of something, it's mad. But I have no idea. I have no idea how the industry works out there. Because it's changes like every country. From all the conversations I've been having with the fellow shooting stars, it's different in every country. So I have no idea.
You did a lot of research for Terry Gilliam's The Man Who Killed Don Quixote. Why is that so important for you?
First of all, because I think to be part of a project that someone's been trying to do for almost 30 years, it's really special. Also because I'm a fan of Terry, and I mean I'm Portuguese, but we grew up with Don Quixote and Cervantes, so it's so close to us that I really wanted to be part of it. And I don't know, all this that really spoke to me. The character, how she starts as being this Dulcinea, and then she's a Carmen of Bizet, a very strong woman. And I found it very interesting how Terry adapted the book. Like it's not a very truthful. You're not seeing the film as the book, but the book talks about the effect that the books of chivalry had in Don Quixote. But the movie talks about the effects that the movie industry has on the people that are part of it, on the actors, on the people around them, on the crew, and that's something that happens all the time. And I thought it was very important and very interesting to see that from that perspective.
Terry Gilliam was criticized several times about his remarks over the Me Too movement. And can you tell me what's happening about that in Portugal? Was there anything?
It's been happening as well, not as much. Because we have a small industry. I've never heard of anything happening in Portugal. Like I was talking with my agent the other day, and actually I think that right now we have a lot of roles for women, and it's almost in some areas, like in TV for example, I think it's easier for women to work. You have more female roles to be played, but at the same time, I mean, not only in our industry, but in other jobs. I've just heard of a company that decided that both men and women, if they have a kid, they have to take a leave. That's good. I mean, because you already know that even if it's a man or a woman, they will have the same days off if they're going to be parents. So that's a good thing to do. And I think it's changing. The mentality is changing step by step. There are a lot of things that still need to change, but I think we're going somewhere.
Coming back to Netflix, I've seen a lot of Brazilian series, and I think last week another Brazilian series was streamed, but I don't see any Portuguese series. Maybe everybody knows Casa de Papel from Spain, but that's it. What's happening in Portugal?
Because we're one of the few countries that didn't sign a contract with Netflix to produce our own things. So we have Netflix and we have HBO in Portugal, but they're not obligated to produce Portuguese things, which is a mistake, but I think that's our fault. That's our fault as Portuguese, because we will see international things faster than we see Portuguese things. So I think it's a lesson to us that Netflix doesn't want to produce things with us, but that's our fault. We have to change that. We have to see more Portuguese TV series. We have to see more Portuguese films, and we're not doing that. So maybe that's the reason why. But I hope it change. I think it will for the next 2 years. I think it will change, and I think maybe Netflix is interested in working with Portugal because we have so many films and festivals, and I think we're really good in what we do. I think we have really good professionals. We have a Portuguese actress doing a Netflix show, an American TV show, and she's the main actress. Her name is Alba Batista, and she's amazing. So we already have Portuguese people all around the world doing things. So I think the next step will be to have a Portuguese TV show on Netflix. That would be amazing.